Wow. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It is Super Saturday. We're in the month, we're in the month of June, and well, actually we're like way past halfway through the month of June. Let's see, looks like okay. Can everybody hear me? Yes? Let's see. Everybody should be able to hear me. Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Okay, if you can hear me, just write in the chat. Yes, I see it. Thanks, Dana. Okay. All right. Well, getting on track. This is Success Mentorship class number 382. And our topic for today is one that we've dealt with before in different forms, but I wanted to really deal with it now that we're at the midpoint of the year, and it is enthusiasm is your power tool for success. Enthusiasm is your power tool for success. And I wanted to come at it from that perspective because I've been having a lot of carpentry work done around the house. We had to have some roof work done, some mechanical work done, a refrigerator put in, and all of these different things. And I was amazed to see how technology has changed. Everybody had a gun that or a drill, and it was powered by a battery. And so what used to take time to, take the screws off, to take the door off the refrigerator, the power tools, bzz, bzz, bzz. And so power tools are tools that give you the ability to leverage your time, to leverage your impact, to leverage your energy, even to leverage your capacity for thinking. When we look at some of the things that Chat GBT and these other AI products can do for us, we are in an age of power tools. There was a study that was saying how many people are going to be unemployed and left out if they don't get into AI, if they don't become a part of the AI revolution. And so when we look at personal development, business development, entrepreneurship, many of us must must learn how to leverage our thoughts, to leverage our emotions, to leverage our actions, to leverage our relationships to get more effective outcomes. And so this topic then came into play as an enthusiasm, your power tool for success. Of course, I want to welcome those on Instagram. Thanks for joining us. Those on YouTube, thanks for joining us. And recommending that you get a copy of our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success, and that you be sure to go to our website, herbertharris.com, and look at our the Booker Call. We have a special section there that if you're looking for some additional direction, if you're making some changes in your life, book a call. Let's talk about it. You may need a coach. You may need some assistance. All right. Before we get started, let us get centered, do our meditation, bring us to the here and now. Close our outer eyes. Open our inner eyes. Let's put our feet flat upon the floor and sit so that we're comfortable. Let's put our hands upon our knees and let us have our hands palms up so that we are open and receptive to the message, to the information, to the interaction we experience today. Take a deep breath and hold it. Let it out slowly through your mouth. Take a deep breath and hold it. Let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, we affirm I am at peace with myself. Together. I am at peace with myself. Let that peace sink in. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this state of peace and relaxation, my mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us affirm that together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let that sink in. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And so it is. I love to open with a quote, and one of the greatest quotes, and really one of my favorites, is one from Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill said this. You know, he was the Prime Minister of England during World War II, but also a great thinker and one who accomplished a lot in his life. And he said this: success is the ability to go from failure to failure and not lose your enthusiasm. Success is your ability to go from failure to failure and not lose your enthusiasm. That's powerful. And that gives you an idea of how powerful enthusiasm is. Enthusiasm can keep you going when everything else has failed. Enthusiasm can keep you rolling when everybody else has deserted you. Enthusiasm can get you through the storm of life. So when we look at this topic, I want us to cover some sections of it. There's a great treatment of it, of course, in the book, in the 12 Universal Laws of Success. It's in the chapter on human magnetism, and a lot is devoted to this. And so I like to start with, what is enthusiasm? Enthusiasm is an invisible, powerful form of human radiation. You see, everything has a vibration. Every idea has a vibration. Every molecule has a vibration. Every atom has a vibration. And so enthusiasm is an invisible, powerful force of human radiation. It is a vibration that we send out. And not only that we send out, we choose to send it out and use it effectively. On page 110, it says, enthusiasm is one of your most important assets. It is an infectious state of mind which gets for you the cooperation of other people, attracting them to your way of thinking and acting. When you are enthusiastic about where you are going, people notice it and make way for you. In fact, the world makes way for those who know where they are going. And we see it a lot. We see it in politics. We see it in gangs. You know, whenever there's somebody who is enthusiastic about doing something, it can be positive, it can be negative. You can be negatively enthusiastic. I'm sure that mean people and people who break in and steal things and hurt people are just as enthusiastic about what they're doing as people who want to create a new world and do good things. You know, the universe is harmonic. There's always a positive and a negative. There's always an up and a down. There's always light and darkness. But principles operate, period, whether it's light or whether it's darkness. Everything created in the universe has a vibration. Man is that unique creature that can take vibration, the vibration of a thought, the vibration of an emotion and use it effectively to create a new reality. Think about it. All the other species, nobody's built, no alligators have built any apartment houses, and um, fish have not built ships. Man is the only creature that does stuff beyond its needs, its physical needs, and that's what gives man that God connection. The root for the word enthusiasm is God within, and it's an ancient term. Literally, it's a Greek term, and that term was really that enthusiasm was given that understanding of God within, because they observed that when people demonstrated enthusiasm, when they were excited about doing any particular thing, and they talked about it all the time, and they acted on it all the time, and they shared it all the time, and anybody who came to them, that it was infectious, and it would make other people join and work with them and help them. And so this power tool of enthusiasm is one that is awesome, that you can use now for the rest of this year and for the rest of your life to really get things done, to make things happen. There are two types of enthusiasm. There's what we call animated enthusiasm. And animated enthusiasm is really along the lines of fake it till you make it. On page 111, it says animated enthusiasm is based on external motivation. As a child, it's fear and reward motivation. You do good, you get candy. You do bad, you get a spanking. It is a created or manufactured emotion that is stimulated by fear and reward. In other words, you pretend or you act enthusiastic based on your knowledge, your experience, or belief that it will work for you. And so we often say when you walk around like you're a champion, people begin to treat you like you're a champion. And so the old term, fake it till you make it, really works. It's not a negative thing, but it's a thing where you get so much into the part of the person you want to be. You start to walk like them. You start to talk like them. You drive like them. You dress like them. Whatever that vision you have in your mind of the person you want to be, the moment you start acting it and projecting it, that's animated enthusiasm. Genuine enthusiasm often happens when animated enthusiasm is practiced on a consistent basis until you become that person. In other words, acting and becoming occur simultaneously. Whenever you're on a task now, as we look at the remainder of this year and we have things to accomplish, if we approach each thing with enthusiasm, that we're excited about doing it, that we know we're going to have a positive outcome, and we treat it that way, people will line up behind you, because most people need a leader. And one of the things that radiates leadership is enthusiasm. Anybody who acts like they know what they're doing, people pay attention to. You can be in a crowded room and someone will come in and speak very loudly and in a certain kind of voice, an authoritative voice. Everyone, please, may I have your attention? And the room goes quiet. Like, wow, what is that? And that's because he said it in such a way and with such a vibration that it resonated and people responded. Genuine enthusiasm, though, is internal motivated. Genuine enthusiasm is when that thing that you want to be doing, have that philosophy or that personality that you want to demonstrate is you. It's not a pretend, it's you. All of us who are, especially those of us in business, when we often say that ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. When a new person is starting in a business and say, well, what is it? They don't know anything. They can't explain anything, but yet they attract people. And it's because of that enthusiasm, because they are radiating, they're sending out a vibration to the world, and people will join you like, wow, if you're so excited about it, it must be great. Let me plug in. Let me get more information. So those of us in our business, enthusiasm is a power tool that you can use to radiate that energy that make people want to look at your demo, that make people want to try your product, that make people want to be a part of whatever you're doing. So animated enthusiasm, you act the part. Genuine enthusiasm, where you become the part. That genuine enthusiasm is most powerful when it aligns with your purpose, with who you are and what you're all about. So let's look a little more. Why is enthusiasm a power tool? Why is enthusiasm a power tool to help you go from where you are to where you want to go? Well, number one, enthusiasm energizes action. The moment you're enthusiastic, you have more energy. You know, there's actually you might say a physiological thing that happens, that when you're enthusiastic, your body produces dopamine and adrenaline. You feel different. And it's that feeling that you now radiate. So enthusiasm is a power tool because it energizes and magnifies your actions. Enthusiasm also attracts opportunity. It can be looked at as a focused application of the law of attraction. You know, we've all looked at, heard The Secret. I read the book and heard discussions on the law of attraction and how when you get into the feeling nature of whatever it is that you want, you will attract that thing into your space, into your life. Well, enthusiasm is like focused attention. It's like focused action. So if the law of attraction operates, and it does, when you're enthusiastic, you literally put the law of attraction on steroids. And that way you get things done. And what happens is when you exert that type of energy, everybody responds to your energy, not just people, but events, things, emotions, all things respond to energy because the universe is all about energy. The third key is that enthusiasm can sustain you. This is why it's such a strong, such a power tool. Your enthusiasm can sustain you through adversity. As Churchill said, you go from failure to failure, but don't lose your enthusiasm. Think about Thomas Edison. Suppose he lost his enthusiasm for discovering the light bulb. And after about 3,000 tries or 2,998 tries, he threw in the towel. Well, the way the universe works, if he quit, somebody else would have done it. Let's put it like that. Because the vibration is out in the universe and we just receive it. But one of the things that make us most receptive to the vibrations in the universe is our own commitment to get things done, that enthusiasm about a particular thing. So your enthusiasm can keep you going. When you fail, you enthusiastically look at it as a dress rehearsal for success. When you lose, you enthusiastically look at it as, wow, man, I learned a lot on this. I'll be ready the next time. The fourth reason why enthusiasm is a superpower is that it accelerates your learning process. You know, many of us have been involved with the great discovery and pretty much everybody on the internet now. There's no way you cannot be on the internet for more than 10 minutes scrolling through and you don't see something about AI. Somebody's teaching it, somebody's selling it, somebody's using it. You don't see it's always there. When you're enthusiastic about any particular thing, that increases your hunger to learn more. And so many of us have learned stuff about AI that we had absolutely no idea that we had even the capacity to learn it. But because we were enthusiastic about it, we were able to do it. So enthusiasm accelerates your learning skill and your growth. So then, if that's the power tool, if it does all of those things, then how do we generate it? How do we increase it? Not just take control of it, but how do we magnify enthusiasm so that we become bulletproof, bazooka proof, so that we get to the point that nothing is impossible? There's some key points. Point one, start each day with gratitude and expectancy. You see, gratitude in itself is a power tool. The more grateful you are, the more you get of what you're grateful for. You know, many people block their blessings because they're not grateful for what they received. They're so focused on what they wanted. Well, I wanted to make $1 million and I only made 100,000. I'm an abject failure. And they'll even quit. So when you start each day from an attitude of gratitude, gratitude primes the pump, primes the vibration that makes things happen. Gratitude primes the pump so that you begin to attract more into your life of what you want, of the things that are congruent with the stuff that you're grateful for. So when you're grateful for your health, for example, you treat yourself better. You literally change your diet. You get more exercise, and you're grateful for your health. You do better by you. Plus, you begin to attract good health into your space. To start each day with an attitude of expectancy. You see, the power of expectation, once again, is like focused energy. When you say, I expect, there's a book called Expect a Miracle. And you say, well, what's the gist of it? The gist of it is that if you can expect it, and expect it in every level of your experience, in your thinking nature, in your feelings, in your actions, so that you can expect it with such intensity that you can feel it, you can smell it, you know how it moves, you know how it tastes. That when you can expect something with that type of intensity, you become magnetic and attracted into your space. There's a quote from page 113 in the 12 Universal Laws of Success, and it says, that which you expect and project with feeling, you attract. And so if you're not having the type of success in your life or in your business that you think you should, then ask yourself, what am I expecting? Am I going out expecting to fail? Am I projecting a lack of competence? Whatever you expect and project with feeling, you attract. And so every day brings you that which you ask of it. There's that poem, but the last lines of the poem basically says that I bargained with life for a penny, and a penny is all I got. And at the end, it says that what I learned is that whatever you bargain for, whatever you expect, life gives you. So if you expect a penny, you get a penny. But if you expect $1 million, you get $1 million too. But each one now, the level of manifestation depends on the level of your intensity and the level of your desire. The second key to generating more enthusiasm, the strengthening your power tool, is to pursue your passion. It's hard to be enthusiastic about something that you do not like. Many of us on jobs, it's very rare that people go to work and have that enthusiasm about working on somebody's job. It's hard to maintain enthusiasm doing something you do not like doing. Your job is only going to pay you just enough to keep you from quitting. That's just that you might call that the law of profit. They're only going to pay you just enough to keep you from quitting. And so no matter how enthusiastic you are, it ain't happening. And so one of the keys to generate more enthusiasm is to pursue your passion. Pursue the things that you love to do. Pursue the things that you enjoy doing. Very often, many of us have talents that we've never developed. There's this movement in the Great Discovery. There's a lot of talk about writing a book, and I like that. I mean, I've written 9 books, and one of the things I find about it is that if you don't love writing, if you don't love telling that story, you're going to quit. And so look at your passion. If you are not able to develop the type of enthusiasm to give you the power to manifest what you want in your life, then it may be that you're not operating in line with your passion. And see, your passion is on the large scale be connected to your purpose. So when you're not living in your purpose, not living in your path and your passion, you're literally just going through the motions. And probably that's what 80% of the people do. They go through the motion of existence, do enough to survive, to stay on the track. But enthusiasm gives you the power to create a new reality. But it should be based on what you love doing, based on your passion, and based on your purpose. Number 3, feed your mind and spirit. One of the beautiful things about everybody on this broadcast, those of you on the mastermind group, those of you watching on Instagram, those of you watching on YouTube, is at 8 o'clock in the morning. I know I just saw Dr. Spalding come on from California. It's 5 o'clock out there. So the fact that you're up this time of morning means that you are intent on feeding your mind and your spirit to take you to another level. And so the more you do that, the more you read, the more you listen, the more you watch inspirational videos and sermons and talks, you are literally feeding your mind. You're literally giving your mind new ideas, new potential, new vibrations, new thoughts. Number 4. Also, with feeding your mind, let me just digress for a moment. We just did something. We opened our class with a meditation. And so meditation is a tool to help you center and to help you restore. So put that in that building, that feeding your mind and your spirit, to learn the power of meditation, the power of prayer. You see, life is a full court press deal. And life is always game on. There's no timeout. And there's no referee. It's just the rules of the game. And so all of these things are part of feeding your mind and spirit. Number 4, understand that your appearance. We often look at enthusiasm as a mindset, and it is. But also your appearance is a part of that power tool. See, the world responds to you based on what they see, based on the appearance as they perceive it. And so when you realize that your personal appearance presents a picture of who you are, what you're about, and where you're going, that when you can present that vision with such intensity, you dress the part, you walk the part, you speak with authority, you do all of those things that create that outer image for people to respond to. So that's the key point, to realize that your appearance is a part of that toolbox. And so now use appearance, your physical appearance, to be congruent with what you want. So dress like the person you want to be. Act like the people who act in the place you want to reside. If you want to be a CEO of a company, act like it. Dress like it. In other words, your physical appearance should be congruent with where you want to go, not where you are. Number 5, surround yourself with people who reflect your future and not your past. One of the challenges with family is that family so often reminds you of every little thing that did not work. Families remind you of every failure, every disappointment. And those people in the past who relate to who you were are not congruent with the vibration of who you're going to become. And so surround yourself with people who reflect the future the future you, and not the past you. And then finally, number 6, to act with faith and boldness. But when you look the part, when you act the part, when you speak the part, when you move the part, then whatever you're attempting to do, whatever you are enthusiastic about, people will rush to join you. People want to be a part of what you're doing. Maintain a constant level of enthusiasm. Now, one thing that can undermine you is when you're like bouncing off the walls enthusiastic today, and then tomorrow you're down in the dumps. So as you use enthusiasm as your power tool, maintain a constant level of enthusiasm so that people know when you walk in the room, you light that room up. Doesn't matter what room it is, where it is, that's just who you are. Be able to take action. You know, enthusiasm is a power tool, but at the heart of it is faith and discipline. And so as you begin to move on your success journey, there will be times when you're not sure of what the next step is, what to do. Then use that, we'll call it that animated enthusiasm. If you're not sure, then act as if you are. Somebody says, well, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to respond. Then the answer is, well, if you did know how to do it, what would you do? And so once you can put these things together and increase the level of your enthusiasm and generate more enthusiasm, nothing is impossible. So let us wrap up today. And I trust that this message, I know that you took notes, but I know that this message of enthusiasm is one of those that to take it and review it time and time again, because it is a defining power. So enthusiasm is an infectious state of mind. It's a vibration, the key point that's under your control that gets the cooperation of other people, that attracts events and circumstances on your behalf. There are 2 types of enthusiasm. There's animated enthusiasm, fake it till you make it, externally motivated, and there's genuine enthusiasm where you align with your purpose and your passion. That enthusiasm is a superpower because it energizes your actions, because it attracts opportunity. Anything in motion attracts whatever it needs, because it sustains you in adversity. That as long as Winston Churchill say, just go from failure to failure and never lose your enthusiasm. That enthusiasm, the power tool of enthusiasm accelerates that learning process, because now you have a reason to learn. It's important that you learn. And then you generate this enthusiasm. You strengthen your power tool. You go from 2.0 to 3.0 to 4.0 to 5.0. So you start each day with gratitude and expectancy. You pursue your passion. You find out what you love, and then you love what you do, and it's on. You feed your mind and your spirit by reading and studying and meditating and praying so that you have all the infrastructure available. You recognize that physical appearance now, dress like, talk like, act like the person you want to be, not necessarily the person who you are. Surround yourself with people who are congruent with where you're going and not where you've been. And then finally, act with faith and boldness. That when you have that enthusiasm radiating from within, trust your feelings, trust your judgment, have faith in the outcome, faith in the process. Because using the power tool of enthusiasm, nothing is impossible. You can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire. When you approach it with enthusiasm, with faith, with boldness, nothing is impossible. And truly, the best is always yet to come. Every day, in every way, you'll get a little bit better. Every day and every way, you'll have a further manifestation of that you want to be, do, and have. Every day and every way, your dream becomes your reality, always knowing that the best is yet to come. So it is. Wow. Thank you so much on Instagram. We enjoyed your presence on YouTube. Thank you so much. Please make comments and share this broadcast with at least 3 other people. And visit our website, www.herbertharris.com, and you can schedule a success consultation. And we still have our holiday special, our graduation special. People are still requesting autographed copies of the 12 Universal Laws of Success. So be sure to go to www.theperfectgift.me, theperfectgift.me. And when you get multiple copies of the 12 Universal Laws of Success, you can get a complimentary 7-night, 8-day vacation. So thank you so much for being with us on Instagram. Thank you so much for being with us on YouTube. Comment, share, like, and let the world know that enthusiasm is your power tool, and you are making the changes necessary to be what you want to be and do what you want to do and have anything you desire. And so it is. Hold on for our discussion. We're looking forward to it. What a great group we have today.